if I lost everything and in 30 days I needed to make $10,000 or have a business that does $10,000 on a reoccurring basis, I wouldn't do drop shipping or crypto or anything like that. What I would start is a real estate photography business. And the reason for that is it's a service-based business, and I'd be looking for two main functions here. Function number one is some sort of virality behind the business that I'm going to start, so I can actually get some natural clients and not have to pay or have like a cost per customer. So instead of running like paid ads and building a business that way, you can cold call, cold DM, cold email, and get in front of these brokerages or these agents. And the coolest part about it is every single real estate market is like super personal. So if you create a connection with one agent that like really loves you, there's a high likelihood that that agent might talk about you and spiral that relationship into a bunch of agents. Now, what is real estate photography? Real estate agents are searching for dependable people to take photos, videos, and listing content of their properties. So every single house that's for sale, you go on Zillow, Redfin, Homes.com, there's hundreds and thousands and sometimes tens of thousands of homes for sale. Now, what real estate photographers do is they go into that house, they take photos, video, social media reels, floor plans, virtual tours, and they sell those services to the agent. Now, the way that a real estate photographer makes money is they make connections with thousands of real estate agents, and those real estate agents will call that photographer and say, hey, go take photos or videos at this listing. Now, the coolest part about real estate photography is there's two big things. Now, I'm going a little bit full circle. Two big things here. It's viral. So if you create one connection with an agent, there's a high likelihood that that media will be shared and other agents will see that stuff, and then they're going to want to work with you. Number two, it's reoccurring. So if you land one agent, you can have a listing with them month one, and then month two, and then month three, and then month four. And the better the relationships you build with these agents, the more they're going to use you. So those are the two biggest things. And maybe for you, it's not even real estate photography, but look for those two functions for yourself when you're starting a business. Like this business that I'm starting, does it have any like viral aspects to it so that even if I do just like good work, people will continue to want to use me? A lot of service-based businesses are like this. And then of course, saying it like a broken record, but number two, that it's reoccurring. So not a lot of businesses are on a reoccurring basis. And a lot of business owners, they refer to this as like being sticky. So if you could have a business model that's very sticky, that means your business is worth more. So if you have to work really hard to get one customer and that customer is only around for one transaction, it's not a valuable business. But if you don't have to work as hard and you could get a customer for free and that customer sticks around forever just because they love you, that's a very valuable business. Now, if we're talking about scaling an actual agency and having photographers, that's a whole different beast. But those are the two first things I would look at when I'm actually looking to start a business. Now, let's tackle the money part. If you want to make $10,000 a month, in real estate photography, your average order value is going to be like $350. So if you take $10,000 divided by $350, which is per shoot, it's around 28 shoots. So I'd have to work once a day for 28 days straight. But more importantly, I'd have to learn the skills on how to actually get the customers in the first place. So we'll talk about outreach in a second and why real estate media and real estate photography is super special in the way that you do outreach. But first, before we go into it, let's go into the actual work that's required in order to make $10,000 a month. So it's around 28 shoots. That's 1 hour a day. Real estate photographers are at shoots anywhere from 20 minutes to around an hour and a half. A lot of real estate photographers like to brag that they're at shoots for hours and hours and hours. That just tells me that you don't really know what you're doing. And again, we've started Rep Leadership, one of the biggest consulting companies in the space for real estate photographers. And what I can say is all the biggest, most successful businesses in real estate media with the best brand and the best authority, they're in and out of shoots in 30 minutes. And that's because they want to stack their calendar and do a lot of shoots in a day, not just take 3 hours at a shoot where the agent really cares more about how you're treating their customers and how you're treating their clients in their home, as opposed to really what the photos look like, especially on very basic shoots. Now, there's an elevated aspect to this where you're taking amazing photos and videos, and there's like an artistic, quality to it where you're doing very like speed ramped videos and stuff. That's more advanced. We're talking about pretty much just making 10K a month, and that's exactly how I would do it. But that's the work that's really required. It's around 30 minutes a day to go on a real estate photography shoot. And a lot of people have limiting beliefs on it, that your market's not big enough, that there's too much competition, and I don't know if I could charge that much. So we'll sort of confront those right now. Your market's not big enough. You'd have to be a very special case, like in a very rural area where there's less than, 100 listings a month. So I know in Buffalo, New York, where we started our real estate media business, there's not a ton of listings and there's not a ton of agents. There's only 1,500 active agents that actually produce in our market. And if you know nothing about real estate photography and you're watching this video, that's pretty small. So that's very small. We have clients inside of Rep Leadership that have 10,000, 15, 20,000 active agents. And all that means is that you have more people to get in touch with, more people to work with. So I really don't like the excuse that people give themselves of, oh, there's not enough agents, there's not enough houses in my market. Guys, $10,000 a month is just 28 shoots. So if there's 28 houses for sale in your market, you know, you can make $10,000 a month doing real estate photography. It's more of a limiting belief. So a lot of people create these negative, self-doubt beliefs that actually stop them from being successful in the first place. Don't have external sources dictate your success, like your market size. Again, you'd have to be in a very, very, very specific market that's very tiny in order to have a valid excuse like that. 99.9% of the times, it's just you're telling yourself that you can't do it because it seems difficult. Then the next part is you're not going to be able to actually be able to charge $350 or $500 per shoot. I understand. Every single person feels that way. Now, there's no excuse as to why the bigger companies can charge more. It's because they have the brand, they have an authority, they have marketing channels, they have sales channels, they're running email outreach, they have a way to get new customers, they build relationships, their media looks great, their website looks amazing. All of these things are not an accident. Okay, so the reason why they're able to charge more is because they're more successful. There's always going to be competition. So you either have two options: to never actually take action, start your business and compete with the competition, or just continue to tell yourself that, oh, there's competition, I can't really do anything. So regardless, there's competition everywhere in microphone companies and sweatshirt companies and jean companies and couch companies. There's no accident as to why the more successful businesses are more successful. It's because they compete in competition. So don't let that be something that actually stops you from starting your business in the first place. So we covered the amount of work that's required to actually start a real estate media business. Then we covered the big beliefs that actually stop people from starting the real estate media business or a business in general. And the next piece is outreach. So how to actually get new customers. Real estate media is very, very, very cool. And that's because you can identify the exact prospect that you want to get in touch with. You could send them emails, DMs, you could send them texts, and you could call them. Because they're 1099 or they're independent contractors or they technically own their own business, you can contact them to create a relationship, to say hi and introduce yourself. And a lot of the times when you create the correct paradigm in a conversation of, hey, my name is Carl, I'm a real estate photographer, I saw your listing, I would love to be a part of your process, that's an appropriate way to reach out to a human being, especially in business, especially in a very small market where everyone talks. Now, there's a good side of it and a bad side of it. So the good side of real estate media is it's a small market and everyone talks. It doesn't matter what market you're in. You could be in the biggest market in New York City. Almost all of those top producing agents, they know each other and they communicate and they share resources so they could have more listings. The negative side of it is if you don't build your brand, you don't have the right pricing, you don't have the right fulfillment, you don't have the right photos, you don't have the right videos, you don't have the right trainings on sales and marketing, you could burn your reputation very quickly. So it's important for you to do all of those things correctly first, as opposed to just going out and winging it. The reason why I say that is because I went through that process with our co-founder, Matt, and we lost clients before we got clients. So I'll sort of explain the backstory here so that you don't make the same mistakes. In Buffalo, New York, there's a big competitor. They're amazing at what they did. They had amazing photos, amazing website, everything. They were like a gold standard for what a real estate media company needed to look like and feel like. And we sort of did a different vibe. So we were better, faster, cheaper. That was sort of the things that we told ourselves to get new customers. And we weren't better. So our photos weren't good because we didn't have an editor. We didn't have a content delivery software. We didn't have any of the tools to actually look good. We didn't have a website. And the website that we did pay for, we paid $15,000 for, so we overpaid a lot. What other things did we screw up? Even the payments that we accepted were wrong, so we're still floating out like 20 or 30 grand from when we first started our business that we've just never collected. We weren't very professional and we did everything incorrectly. And it took us around 5 years to actually learn the skills to do it right, to then lose clients and then re-get them again. Until this day, we are the biggest real estate media company in our market, but those first clients that worked with us, they refused to work with us again because, half a decade ago, we screwed up so bad. And I'm not afraid to admit that. And that's because these are like the real truths behind starting your business that you guys should really know about. Because it's one thing to be like, oh yeah, I can figure stuff out. And it's a whole other thing to where you have to understand your market and how that market operates. Because if you just go out there and wing it and no one respects you because your work is horrible, you don't know how to communicate, you don't know how to accept payments, your scheduling and payment processing is totally off, or even the deliverables that you're handing off are going to make a client not like you or going to make a client not stick around, then you're ruining your business with the only thing that's going to make it work in the first place. What I mean by that sentence is your market's very tiny. You have an opportunity to get everyone in your whole market to know who you are, trust you, and love you. So if you get everyone in your whole market to know who you are and you're not doing anything correctly, then it's going to go south very quickly. I just don't want people to make that same mistake that we made. So the next piece of the process that is super valuable in real estate media, or what you should be looking for if you're looking to start a business in general, is retention. So how do I keep these clients? How do I get more of these clients? And then how do I get them to spend more money with me? So that's very important. Real estate media, all of these agents will have many listings throughout the year. Your goal is to get more agents that have more listings, because the more listings those agents have, the more work you get, which means you get paid more, which means, so if I was starting a business and in 30 days I need to make $10,000 a month, I would look for virality, reoccurring income, and something in a small market so that I don't have to pay for customers and my good work can grow on its own. Then you could put the cherry on top with outreach. For me specifically, obviously, it would be real estate media, because we've helped hundreds of people and business owners start and grow their business in real estate media, completely change their lives. And more importantly, if you guys think that real estate media is really cool, you want to check it out and see what the services look like, how to actually make money in real estate media, how to get people to know who you are, and even the deliverables behind starting a real estate media business, go to our bio. Click on that link. It is a Skool community. It's ranked #1 on Skool for the top real estate media community. Jump in there and you could learn everything about real estate photography so you could start to make money, hopefully before 30 days and maybe even tomorrow. Let's jump into it.